I'm Tess, and like Jennifer's Body, I too am underappreciated and mismarketed. Let it be known, I love this movie. It's smart, it's funny, but also it's like genuinely one of the most brutal depictions of girlhood ever put to screen, which in retrospect is kind of hilarious to me, because when it came out in 2009, the studio basically sold it like softcore horror porn for straight teenage boys, and it was reviewed as such. Megan Fox eats boys and kisses girls. That's basically how they marketed it. And like, sure, that does happen, but that's not what the movie is. That's like saying Titanic is about boats go sink, or that The Godfather's just about angry Italians. So Jennifer's Body is not about being hot. It's about what happens when the world makes you into an object and then punishes you for using that power. It examines this through female friendship, desire, and wanting someone so much that you can't tell whether you want to be with them or be them. Cameron Kusama and Diablo Cody, the director and writer respectively, they were like cooking in the kitchen with this shit in 2009, and they just weren't ready. It's 2026, and girls, we are feasting. So, quick crash course. The movie follows two besties, Needy Lesnicki, played by Amanda Seyfried, and Jennifer Check, played by Megan Fox. Jennifer is depicted as basically like this desirable hot girl, and Needy as her emotional support animal. On paper, they could not be more different. They live in this little town, Devil's Kettle, insane name, actually insane. One night, Jennifer goes to see this band called Low Shoulder with Needy. The dive bar that the band is playing actually burns down. Low Shoulder lures Jennifer into their van afterwards and sacrifices her to Satan, thinking she's a virgin. She isn't, so the ritual backfires. Jennifer comes back, but she's kind of cursed now and possessed with this soul-sucking demon. So a typical Saturday night with the girls then. Yeah, okay. Needy is really the only one who notices that there's something wrong with Jennifer this entire film. Their friendship, if I can even call it that, starts to rot, and the story builds towards this inevitable tragedy. Two girls bound by love and jealousy and the crushing weight of being seen turning against each other. In theory, it's a horror comedy. It is. It's a little scary, it's fucking hilarious. But in practice, it's kind of a coming-of-age nightmare. One that's just as much about performance and power as it is about gore and general silliness. Now, disclaimer, this video isn't just about reclaiming Jennifer's Body as a misunderstood masterpiece. I'm not the first person to die on that hill. But it's about what the film understood all along. That the scariest thing about girlhood isn't supernatural, it's completely ordinary. It's being looked at. It's being consumed. It's learning to live with hunger for validation, for safety, for love, in a world that keeps telling you you're too good for it and not worthy of it at the same time. So let's get into it. The first line of this movie is also its thesis. Hell is a teenage girl. Such a baller line. It's a sick line for sure, but like, so true. Because being a teenage girl can kind of suck. You're living in a paradox. You're told you have power because you're desirable, but the moment that you try to use that power, you're punished for it. In the early scenes pre-sacrifice, Jennifer is at the height of her social dominance. She's beautiful, she's charismatic, she's confident, she's the kind of girl that people either want to be or be with. But Diablo Cody doesn't really frame her as the mean girl stereotype she could so easily fall into. She's a survivor of a system that's taught her that attention equals safety, that validation is currency, and that being wanted is the same as being valued. So when Low Shoulder shows up, Jennifer sees them as an opportunity, a way to be seen by someone new. But the moment that she gets in that van, all of that power dissolves. The band treats her like an object. Her sexuality, the very thing that she's been taught to perform, becomes her undoing. And this is where the horror begins. It's not with demons or possession, it's with entitlement. Low Shoulder doesn't see Jennifer as a person, they see her as a sacrifice. And that's not just a plot point, that's a broader metaphor for what happens for girls who are made into symbols. Megan Fox has literally said that she's Jennifer Check, that both of them were punished for being desirable. It's really worth looking at Fox's career, particularly her long, fraught working relationship with Michael Bay, which began when she was just 15. In real life, she was slut-shamed and boxed in for doing nothing more than just existing. In the film, the world mirrors that punishment. Jennifer is literally sacrificed for the same thing, for being visible and wanted, untamed. And Jennifer's possession is the afterlife of that sacrifice. She's not killed outright, she's transformed. Her beauty becomes monstrous, her hunger literal. She's still desired, but now desire has teeth. She's gone from being prey to predator. Yes, when Jennifer goes on a killing rampage, it's empowering. More importantly, it's literally survival for her. Needy literally says to Jennifer's face that she's insecure, and she is absolutely right. But Jennifer's insecurity isn't trivial, it's literally the engine of her hunger. Because what the movie gets so right is that insecurity doesn't make you fragile, it makes you starve. For attention, for control, for proof that you matter. Jennifer doesn't eat boys because she's evil. She eats them because it's the only time that she feels full. And what is just so brilliant about Megan Fox's performance is how much she plays the monster as a girl who was just exhausted. Yes, she's possessed, but you truly see how this all-consuming force lives through Jennifer. There's so much humanity to it. She's powerful, but not free. She has to keep killing to maintain this illusion that she's fine. And isn't that just a metaphor for being a girl? This constant draining performance that you're fine. Good shit. Good shit. Girls, don't get me wrong, I love a little gory cinema moment. This movie has a lot of violence, funnily enough. But at its core, Jennifer's body isn't about murder, it's about intimacy. Are we listening? Okay. Jennifer and Needy's relationship drives this film, so it is honestly bamboozling to be watching this movie in 2026 and going back to the marketing material in 2009 and seeing no Needy. I get that Jennifer's the titular role, but Needy's the main character? We're positioned from the opening scene to see everything through her eyes. Some might say the subtext for this part, but no. The text lives here. Needy and Jennifer's friendship isn't just platonic, but it's not cleanly romantic either. It's very codependent. It's very obsessive. It's what happens when you grow up believing that your best friend, this other half, is the only person that truly sees you for who you are. Like when Jennifer comes back from her sacrifice, she doesn't go to her parents for help, she goes to Needy. Her clothes are torn, her face is blank, her mouth literally dripping with blood. It's fucking horrifying, but so intimate. This is the only time we as an audience see Jennifer for who she truly is, someone who is hungry and damaged and horrifying. But it's also the only time in the movie that any character sees Jennifer like that. It's incredibly vulnerable. She's entering Needy's house, Needy's space, a place that is meant to be safe, and bringing death in with her. Everything with Jennifer centers back around Needy. Jennifer killing Colin, the lovely emo guy, may he rest in peace, only happens because she knows that Needy likes him. The same thing happens with Jennifer killing Chip, Needy's boyfriend. Jennifer doesn't want Chip. I mean, who would? Is a flop who can't even play the drums in time. But Jennifer wants Needy's attention. Every boy that she kills is a way to get it back. When Jennifer says to Needy, "You're just jealous," it's true, but it's also projection. Jennifer is jealous of Needy's stability and her goodness and her capacity to love. And Needy, in turn, is jealous of Jennifer's chaos, the freedom to be seen without apology. Their kiss, which I will absolutely be getting back into later, don't you worry, is the clearest example, I think, of this hunger for recognition. It's not a gimmick or a marketing ploy. It's a deeply tragic and electric moment where love and violence touch. Where two girls who have always been each other's mirrors finally cross that line between looking and consuming. It's not just sexual, but it is so emotionally charged. It's Jennifer saying, "If you can't save me, at least see me." And Needy does, but that's also what destroys them. Oh, it's actually kind of beautiful. Happy Pride Month, everyone. One of the cruelest things about being a girl, and Jennifer's body fucking nails this, is that you're expected to perform even your own suffering beautifully. When Jennifer's possessed, dude, she looks better than ever. Her skin glows, her eyes sparkle, her hair shines, she's just radiant. Who needs Accutane when your skin clears up after murder, am I right? Okay, that was dumb, but let's put our thinking caps on, girls. I should hear the pen scribbling. It's kind of a gut punch. Because it's saying that when even a girl is dead inside, which this isn't a metaphor anymore. Jennifer is literally dead inside. There's a demon inside of her, and there's her shell, the Jennifer skin suit, if you will. And she's still expected to look hot. Oh my god. Jennifer's transformation turns femininity into performance art. Her confidence becomes like an armor, but also a mask. The way she talks and walks and dresses, don't get it wrong, she's always serving. And that might detract from my point, but it's all deliberate. All of it is curated for a gaze that is constantly watching her. There's a scene where she's getting ready for the school dance and she's kind of just staring in the mirror with this very vacant expression, just smearing foundation across her face with her hands. And next to the mirror is a framed photo of her pre-sacrifice. It's like she's studying to slip back into that role again, and that's what girlhood often is, a performance of a character. And Karen Kusama, she kind of directs these moments with this very glossy suburban stillness. Dreary classrooms, very lived-in bedrooms, kind of this hum of small-town normalcy. It's a world where girls are punished if they are too much, like Jennifer, and also punished if they're not enough, like Needy. I've been talking a lot about Jennifer, but Needy absolutely performs too. Like, hello? Her name literally suggests as much. Needy? She's the caretaker. She's the one who balances Jennifer's chaos. But her perceived goodness is a role as well. When she finally kills Jennifer, it's the first time that we see Needy act out of raw, selfish emotion. And in doing so, she becomes something closer to free. The movie's tone mirrors Jennifer's persona though. It's campy and sincere, but also funny and sad. It's like a teenager trying to joke through her own trauma. When Jennifer dies, she's stabbed in the chest, and her final words are literally, "my tit." But the last words that she hears are Needy's, "No, your heart." It's this beautiful stripping away of Jennifer's sexualization to reveal her humanity in these final moments. It's the death of Jennifer, yes, but it's also the death of the performance that she had to maintain to survive. And that's why critics didn't get it in 2009. It wasn't tonally inconsistent, it was accurate. Jennifer's body isn't confused about what it's doing, it is written in the language of girls, and most critics weren't fluent yet. Are they even fluent now? Question for the culture. When people talk about Jennifer's body, they always mention the kiss. And hey, like, valid point, many awakenings were had. But no one ever really talks about what the kiss truly means within the context of the story. This moment is the climax for the central emotional relationship. Not a setup of fan service, nor for the straight male demographic the movie was marketed to for some reason. No, instead, it's an implosion of repression. For a moment, Jennifer and Needy aren't monster and victim, or hot and plain. It's not about how people perceive them, or even how they perceive themselves. They're two girls who have just loved each other so much for so long, and it's killing them. As things grow more intimate in this scene, both physically and emotionally, Needy pulls away. Jennifer responds the only way that she knows how, reclaiming control through flirting. She teases Needy, talking about sharing a bed during sleepovers, suggesting they could play boyfriend and girlfriend like they used to. She's shielding herself from Needy's rejection by commodifying her own body, but Needy refuses, partly out of her loyalty to Chip. After this, Jennifer tries to reframe their bond as toxic competition over Chip, yet the heartbreak beneath it is palpable. This isn't about wanting him at all. It's about Needy daring to seek affection elsewhere. Jennifer doesn't want to kill Needy, no, she just wants to get her devotion back. And anything that threatens that devotion feels like a threat that she must destroy. I think it's also important to note that any time we see Jennifer in a sexual context, she's always in the dominant position. When Needy loses her virginity to Chip, she's in the submissive position, lying underneath him. The only time that we see these roles reversed are when Jennifer and Needy are together. In the kiss scene, Needy climbs on top. And even in the final confrontation when Needy stakes Jennifer in Jennifer's bedroom, Needy is straddling Jennifer while she lies beneath her. I think this reversal illuminates something that is so crucial, that with each other they allow themselves to be seen in ways that the world would never permit. Jennifer usually expected to dominate, and Needy usually expected to submit, invert these roles. And it reveals this vulnerability and desire that neither of them can safely show elsewhere. Jennifer's death is the natural endpoint for her hunger. Not just literal, but emotional. The craving for intimacy and recognition that she can really only fully satisfy with Needy. It's honestly, like, heartbreaking when she dies. Not because of this clash between good and evil, but because it depicts the death of a love that has outgrown the narrow box of what this world has prescribed for it. When Jennifer says, "my tit," as Needy stabs her, it's like this perfect collision of horror and comedy and tragedy. And that humour doesn't undercut the pain. In fact, I think it makes it more human, because even in death, Jennifer's body is still something for people to comment on. Her identity is inseparable from her physicality. And when she dies, like, Needy's face completely numbs. She hasn't just killed a monster, she's killed the only person who has truly ever reflected her back to herself. But next bit, it's a neat touch. Jennifer bites Needy before she dies. She infects her, transfers the monstrousness, the power, and the hunger. By the end, Needy has absorbed what Jennifer represented. Rage and appetite and defiance, and she uses it to kill Low Shoulder, the band who started all of this. And that's not just revenge, it's reclamation. It's the idea that the things women are told make them monstrous. Anger and sexuality and ambition are the very things that make them powerful. So, by the film's end, Needy becomes the final girl. But she's nothing like the generally virginal survivors of traditional horror. She is angry, she's literally infected. Her power doesn't come from purity, but from contamination. Inversion is the film's quiet genius, because it refuses to separate goodness from hunger. It says maybe the scariest thing about women isn't that they're capable of violence, it's that they're capable of wanting. So Jennifer's body treats hunger for love or attention, agency, as the central emotion to girlhood. Jennifer's appetite is demonized, literally, and Needy's is suppressed, but both are still punished. I think the real horror isn't that Jennifer eats people, it's that she literally has no other choice but to. So when Needy does kill Low Shoulder, it's like this restoration of balance. She's avenging Jennifer, but she's also avenging every other girl who's been sacrificed for someone else's ambition. It's like violent, sure, but it's very cathartic. And I guess in a way, Jennifer wins, because even in death, she infects the narrative. She forces Needy, and us as the audience, to reckon with her hunger. And that's why Jennifer's body has been loved so fiercely in recent years. It's campy and gory, yes, but beneath the jokes lie a very harsh truth. That being a girl means living with a constant ache. To be wanted, to be safe, to be seen, to be left alone, and realizing that you can't have them all at once. So, Hell is a teenage girl. Not because she's evil, but because the world made her that way. Jennifer's body was so ahead of its time because it refused to flatter its audience. Girlhood was depicted as survival. It showed the way that desire and danger intertwine. It showed how hunger can be both wound and weapon. Jennifer Check may have been a monster, but she was never wrong about the world, and I think that's what makes her so enduring. Yes, she's that bitch. Yes, that's what makes her a pop culture icon. Really, what makes it mean so much, though, is that she's a mirror. Because in the end, Jennifer's Body is not a film about a demon who eats boys. It's about a girl who refused to stay dead, and honestly, good for her.